Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark. In this video, I wanted to talk more about fear. How is fear controlling us? What are we supposed to do in the presence of fear? I've been working on this with my guides for a long time now because we all have these emotions that come up, fear. We want to maybe take a step in a certain direction and we pause. We see a lot of information online where it tells us, well, we need to lead into the fear. The fear is actually showing us the direction we need to move in. And I've done a few videos on this. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into it and kind of reframe it. And hopefully it makes a little bit more sense to you as to how to really alchemize these emotions, these dense emotions, and how to move through some of this stuff so that your higher self comes through, right? That's what we want to do. That's what we're going to do, is to land more of our divine energy, get it down into the body. That's why we do breath work and meditate and all that, to create the space for this to happen. But when we have these dense energies come up, say we're triggered, something in our reality happens, we immediately align with it. Our ego wants to take our attention and focus it right to it. And that's because there's a traumatic effect there. There's some sort of trauma in our past. Maybe it goes back generations, whatever it may be, ancestral type stuff that comes up that says, okay, we need to focus on this emotion, right? Now, our ego says, well, we have a decision to make here, and there's fear. Now, if you've been looking online and you're reading, you're seeing videos, things like that, people are telling you, well, that's the direction you need to move in. Is that really, though? If you guys feel that, go ahead, click that like button. I know there's a lot of that out there, and there's some misunderstanding about that. And we're going to clarify that today, right here in this video. When we have this emotion, our higher self is coming through and moving through us, trying to manifest into this reality. And during that process, in the midst of that process, it is showing us exactly what is in the way, what is preventing that from happening. Okay. And it's clearing the density. It's like taking a big giant bulldozer. My guide showed me this not too long ago. And it's like a big bulldozer. The higher self comes in and it's just pushing everything forward. And we can't stop it. It's happening. Now, the ego wants to resolve the problem. So it identifies with the fear. It says, okay, there's fear here. Now, us being spiritual, and from what we've learned, may think that we need to take an action in that direction so that we could heal the fear. And that's, again, the ego response. That's the trauma response. We got to make the problem go away. We get strong. We feel really strong. And we say, we're going to step into that fear, right? It's like kind of stepping into quicksand. If you see quicksand, you have fear of quicksand. You're not going to step into it to get over the fear of the quicksand, are you? You're going to sink, right? So what happens is we kind of go down that road and maybe we get through it, but we get through it from the perspective of resistance. We're out of alignment. We kind of muscle through it, right? It doesn't feel good. We keep going and then we get through it. And then another situation comes up and we take the same exact action. We lean into that and we move through it. And these situations keep coming up. It's almost like we're desensitizing ourselves to the fear. We're not really bringing it into the mix. We're not really processing it, right? So I want to ask you this one question. Have you ever had a situation where you feel so good, so aligned, that things that you would have normally feared, there's no fear whatsoever? You just take that action and you do it. Completely inspired. You feel the energy flowing through you. You have the complete trust. It's as though it doesn't even exist. That is because you are allowing your source energy to flow through you in the presence of that fear, and you no longer feel that fear. Okay, so the fear came up for you to feel, you feel the fear, and then you get aligned, and all of a sudden the fear becomes part of the mix. That density isn't even available to you anymore. It's just part of the mix. It's like we took ingredients that were separate, we threw it into the cake pan, we mixed it up, and now you have a cake, right? There's this beautiful thing here. And that's what we're needing to do, okay? So it's very important when you're going to take an action that you feel the presence of these emotions. You get present, you breathe with it, you feel it, you get aligned, and then those fears dissolve, they alchemize, we transmute them right into the mix. And that allows the full flow of your source energy to come through. And that's where inspired action comes from. It doesn't come from being fearful and trembly and taking an action, okay, to get over your fear. It comes from recognizing the fear, bringing awareness, consciousness to the fear, feeling it, okay, with awareness and aligning in its presence. Allow that fear to be present as you align and bring your source energy through. Then the fear will just dissolve. You can't separate the ingredients from a cake after the cake's been baked, right? You can't, in fact, you can't even identify them. You can't identify the flour. You can't identify the sugar. You can't identify the ingredients. They have been incorporated. That is what we call embodiment. Okay. We are embodying our higher self and embodying all these traumatic events. We're raising their frequency. Okay. Just like when we put we mix the cake up, we put it in the oven, temperature goes up and you have this beautiful transformation into a cake. That's what we're doing. So when we're focusing and acting in the fear, in that resistance, we're focusing our awareness down into one ingredient instead of the whole, taking a step back and seeing the whole cake. So that's how we deal with these dense emotions and fear. The key, again, is to feel it when it comes up, not react to it, not dive into it. That's going to put us in resistance. Our energy flow goes down into the straw, and we're looking purely at controlling that situation around fear. And when we try to muscle through it, there's a lot of resistance there, right? So we cut ourselves off from our source energy and our inspiration and our intuition, our guidance. We bring it back. We feel it. We bring it into alignment. We mix it all up in the cake. And all of a sudden, the energy, our divine flow, our inspiration, our intuition, our guidance flows forward. And the fear isn't even there. You can't even feel it because it's become part of the one, part of the whole. That's what we're here to do. That's what this reality is showing us. Don't react to the situation. Bring it in. Okay. Very, very powerful message. I know this is going to help a lot of people. If it resonated, again, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, get this message out there. Share it wherever you can. It's just very, very powerful. So until next time, love and light.